I'm going to leave a disclaimer on this video that this is actually just a developing story, and it actually kind of just blew up 5 minutes ago. So I was doing some chores around the house while listening to some of my YouTubers that I listen to, and one of them brought to my attention that they were sponsoring a company known as Established Title. And I've seen the advertisements for these. I never really looked into it because I usually don't buy products based off of advertisers that YouTubers typically tend to push independently. Unless it's something I really feel like I could use, but right now it's not really anything I can use, nor was it anything I was going to use in Scotland, which is what it was. It was like you buy a plot of land in Scotland, from what I understand, and then you get a certificate saying Lord or Lady, insert your name here, stating that you own the plot. Which kind of like from first glance just kind of seemed a little odd to me because how much land can everybody really buy from this company? And also, it's almost like false advertising. Not like it is basically false advertising if that's the way it's going. Is this absolutely the worst scam that has ever gone on YouTube? Probably not. It's not the first one to go this far, not just on the internet, but in life in general. And it's probably not going to be the last, unfortunately. In fact, there are plenty of other things that are scams out in the world that have gotten a lot farther than this and have a lot more reach. And I don't want to just be picking across or call anybody who bought the product an idiot or anything like that, because that's just not what I'm here to do. I understand that there's a few negative reviews of this when I looked at the reviews of the company. And I understand a lot of YouTubers ignored some of those negative comments and still pushed the company anyway. But just about right now, I've been watching a lot of YouTubers retract their statements and say that I did not know. And I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. I'm not coming down on any one of them, excuse me, hiccups. However, it just tends to be a little ironic that so many promoted it and didn't really know about it. Now, I don't know who knew about what the reality of this company was and who didn't, so I can't really sort through that. But to the big YouTubers who are cutting ties with this company and saying, hey man, no more of this, I applaud you, because sometimes everybody makes mistakes. Sometimes that mistake is advertising a company that is absolutely fraudulent. But if they did not know and they just made an honest mistake, my advice to them would definitely be when it comes to online marketing, because the unfortunate part about the digital age is over long distance, there could be a lot of scams going on, and there's so many out there. Some are very obvious, and then some of them are very well hidden. And I admit that this one is very easy to fall for, but it does kind of like offer a whole lot for a little bit. And it just seems way too good to be true because the generation coming up doesn't really know much about owning land or really what it takes. And it kind of is leading people astray, in my opinion. And usually when it comes to buying property like that, there's a little more to it than just one transaction. And I'm not saying I'm an expert on buying land or buying any sort of assets or property like that, but I've done enough of that to understand that it's way more complicated than what this is. And if I never really saw this coming because I kind of just let these advertisements go over my head. And that's right. I don't want to act like that person who said, yeah, I knew about this scam from the very beginning, because no, that was not the case. But moving forward, for any big YouTubers or YouTubers coming up, it's always good to have them send you the product or send you the full story, just so you, like, one, you know that the product you're pushing is legitimate, or two, you could give an honest review yourself, or three, if it does, turn out to be bad, you can go and have a sort of paper trail for yourself and say, hey, this is what I did. I did everything to the best of my knowledge. So that way you could keep the heat off of your trail and not just blindly accept advertisers, because this one got very popular, and I think this should be a blessing in disguise, kind of a learning experience. So people understand just how far these scams can make it and in the future, and understand that as a society we have to damage control the heck out of this. And it's also very important to make sure that these scams kind of stay out of the bigger sphere by us as a society at the lower sphere when we're checking these products to blow the whistle when something seems rotten. And I know that blowing the whistle is a double-edged sword. Sometimes people just do it for attention or to sabotage a legitimate company that has a legitimate product. But other times when it's used well, we can do a whole lot and make sure that something like this doesn't happen again, because I'm curious as to how this scam got as far as it did, because like I said, there's been plenty of other scams out there that have made it super far and got super wide and blew up, and there was no liability for the people who were committing these scams. But to be honest, the last thing you want in your whole advertising sphere, especially a big company like YouTube, because I feel like a lot of people are going to be held responsible for a lot of this kind of stuff. But there's kind of a lot we can do as a community moving forward to make sure that scams like this don't really get so far, because I really want to know the big details about this story. But just thought I'd touch in on this because this one's going to be big, and it would actually be foolish of me not to get in on the development of this story. So thank you guys very much, and I will see you guys with the next one, and I'll probably be doing a future video on this, on how this story develops in real time. Thank you guys very much.